Hi.
Hello.
Guten Tag.
and welcome back to Talking with Kitties.
What does Guten Tag mean?
Good morning, I think. Which
Really?
is fitting, yeah.
Sweet. So I did
think.
right.
I don't know.
I was like, it probably means thank you or something.
Thank you as well.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it means, but thank you for joining us.
Guten Tag. I completely threw you off.
You so much did.
I'm sorry. Shall we try again?
Welcome back to Talking with Kitties.
I'm girlfriend.
I am boyfriend, and we have all the kitties.
We have a Bubs right here.
Right here's a Bubs.
I'm pointing at him for you. And then...
I think Finnigan's behind you. Well, he was.
There is a Finny somewhere.
Oh, he's right over here.
Oh, Finnigan's over there.
Yes, and then there's a gizzard. So the boys came down here first and started investigating like they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody was investigating the litter box. And then Gizzard came down and wandered over to the litter box and found somebody in her poo fortress.
She was not pleased.
Not pleased at all.
She's allowed to use theirs. Like, It's fine. Everybody should be allowed to use them, but this one is hers.
She's sitting halfway up the steps glaring at both of them as they wander back and forth.
Yeah, she's a salty little girl.
Yes.
She's usually a salty little girl.
Well, she's got two big brothers that are miscreants.
She's moody like her mama.
Yeah, so now we got all the kitties for now. And then they'll get tired from all the exploring and they'll wander off.
They'll either wander off or lay down and take a nap down here.
Off to take a nap.
Know. I mean, we do have a very comfy couch over there. So.
We do. It's true.
I love that we have this really, it's not as comfy as upstairs.
Yeah, no, it's an okay-ish couch. It was comfy until we got that couch.
It was very comfy until we got that couch. And then it was like, this couch is a peasant couch.
Put it down in the basement with the basement folk. The downstairs folk can have this couch.
AKA Gizzard.
Gizzard. And me when I'm sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made that decision.
I know.
I didn't tell you had to.
But after 2 days, I was not enjoying my decision.
You were ready to come upstairs and be an upstairs folk.
Sleeping was really hard on the couch with a gizzard licking my head in the middle of the night.
I love that she tried to clean your head in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and I'm like, Gizzard, I'm trying to sleep.
She loves you.
She's the worst.
If I stayed down here because I was sick, she would just glare at me like, why the hell are you here?
Maybe.
She does not like me.
Well, she doesn't like most people.
No, that's not true.
That's not.
She really just doesn't like me.
She doesn't like most people. She doesn't hide from you.
What are you doing, Finn? He's like, I'm exploring.
I'm checking out all the places.
I'm usually not allowed down here. Little sister won't let me.
And I usually lock them upstairs because I don't want to hurt their little ears.
Little niece.
Yeah, niece and nephew. Where are all the toys?
He's looking under the couch like he's looking for a toy. You have all of them upstairs, buddy.
They were all in his toy box, so he couldn't find them.
Go get in your toy box. You know the toy box. I've seen you crawl in your toy box.
I went up and raided it, pulled some toys out, threw them around.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think he's been upstairs since I did that, though.
He thinks he sees something he wants.
Something. Who knows? Kitties are weird. And Weird Uncle's extra weird.
But he's cute.
He is cute.
He's really starting to fit in, too.
He really is. He has really been, like, last night we were in the TV room just relaxing and watching shitty TV. And he finally just came in and sprawled on the couch and just hung out for a while. And what was it? It was a couple days ago or last weekend or something. He came in and curled up on the cat blanket. And was just chilling on the cat blanket. So
he's starting to realize he's part of the family and he can kind of do his own thing and doesn't have to be concerned about getting in trouble or being...
Yeah, he's starting to figure out what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do and where he's allowed to be. And he's starting to acclimate a little bit more. And
he's really stinking cute.
He comes in for some nose boops every once in a while.
He does. He really wants something that's under there.
He really wants something that's under there. All good things with that.
Yeah.
Much, much fewer hissers and fights. But
yeah, I can't even remember the last time. Well, that's not true.
Him and Bubs at night. That's about the only one because he decides after dinner when we go to bed is when Finnigan decides it's time to play. And he goes downstairs to find his nephew.
Let's just say brother. It's easier. We're so used to brother and sister.
But he goes downstairs to find Bubs to play, and Bubs is not ready.
Bubs is like, dude, I just ate and I'm tired and I need my after dinner nap. Leave me alone.
So I have to go down and separate them.
Sometimes.
I have to grab Finn and carry him upstairs.
Carry Finnigan upstairs.
And I put him down upstairs. Say, no, stay up here. And then he goes right downstairs as soon as the lights are off.
Sometimes he finds a toy and plays with it upstairs for a while. Do we have any other updates?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. It's been kind of a blah week for both of us, I think.
This week has been very blah.
Yeah.
We've gotten some crappy news, potentially crappy news. It might actually be a blessing in disguise. I'm not really sure. I got news that hurt my feelings. How about we do that?
That's about right.
Had some highs, had some lows, had some It felt like it took forever.
It did. It's just been blah for me, like a steady all week.
Yeah, so. You've been almost kind of out of it like all week.
Yeah.
Like there, but not really kind of a thing.
I'll pull out of it.
The weather doesn't help. This whole
this week's been crazy.
We had like 2 inches of snow, and then it was like sunny and beautiful and like 50, and then we're supposed to get another cold front coming in the next day or so. Yeah. Maybe today, I don't even know.
I think it's supposed to be chilly today, and it's supposed to warm up over beginning of next week. It doesn't know. It changes from day to day, hour to hour almost.
It's March.
It's March, but I think we're hitting the last of the winter sads.
Oh, absolutely. I think, and it's kicking in hardcore. I think, because
it's been
of the weather change. It's been a mild winter, but then we're starting to see like spring, like things are starting to try to bloom and open up and like grow. And then
it snows.
And then it snows, and it's just like, oh my God, it's never going to end.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if it would have just been cold and shitty and snowy.
There was one day I was wearing shorts in the house because I was doing stuff. And then the next day it's in the 20s. And it's just rough.
It wasn't in the 20s in our house.
No, not in our house.
I wouldn't. I mean, I probably would have minded.
You would have been like, oh, this is slightly chilly. It's nice. We had a discussion.
We did.
She's like, I don't even need to wear a jacket because it's 38. That's almost 40. That's just chilly.
No, it was 48. It was the day that it got up to like 56. And it was 48, and it was going to be 56 by the time I left work. And I said, it's close enough to 50. I can go. It wasn't 38. I would have worn a jacket at 38. I would have.
Okay.
You don't believe me?
I don't believe you at all.
Whatever. We had a conversation about cold weather, though.
Yes.
Because to him, it's freezing at what temperature?
Like 30s.
30s, it's cold.
32 is literally freezing.
It doesn't get freezing until it's like single digits.
40s and 50s is chilly. No, 60s is chilly.
No.
40s and 50s is
60s
cold.
60s is nice.
60s is chilly.
No, 60s is nice.
70s is nice.
70s is it's almost getting too warm.
This is an ongoing thing with us.
It is.
We have very different temperature requirements.
Very different temperature requirements. Yeah. Luckily, though, he lets me have a fan or an air conditioning in the bedroom, and then he just snuggles up under blanket.
And we have the whole bedroom situated in such a way that the air conditioner or the fan hit her and don't hit me.
Is blowing directly at me, and this is him. So
we make it work.
We do make it work, and I appreciate it.
I just spend all my life under blankets.
I feel like you would do that anyway. Like, our house is like 70 some degrees right now, and you choose to be under the blanket when you're on the couch regardless. Yeah,
well, I ruined myself at the end of summer because at the end of summer it was like in the 70s and 80s, and I was in shorts and still under the blanket. And that was mainly just because Gizzard prefers the blanket.
She does prefer the blanket.
So, yeah, I screwed myself before this winter even came.
You were under the blanket in the summer, so obviously you're going to be chilly and want to be under the blanket all the time.
Yep, my own.
It's kind of your life now.
It really is.
When you're on the couch, you're not on the couch all the time, but when you're on the couch,
I'm a blanket hermit.
You are a blanket hermit. I was gonna say like a little caterpillar in like your little cocoon, because sometimes you even have your head covered and everything. Like you can't even tell that it's you.
My head gets cold
because you don't got hairs.
Yes, it's surprising how much. Whenever I finally took it all the way down, it was surprising how much that little bit of hair that was up there was keeping everything warm.
Maybe I should just shave my head then.
We've had this discussion.
I know. I really should. Was that a kitty noise?
That was Finnigan jumping down.
Okay.
Jumping down and looking up. So I have a feeling that Gizzard had something to do with this.
Did you know he tried to wake us up today? Did he wake you up at 6:30?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I heard.
Because he jumped on the bed and was making
Yelling
his little
you.
squeaky noises. And then he like crawled up on top of me, and I was like, no. But then I really had to pee. So I got up and went in, and he was all excited. And then he just sat there and looked. He bit my foot.
Bit your foot?
That's what he does. Whenever he wants your attention and you're not paying attention to him, like if he thinks he needs fed or if he wants pets and I'm in the bathroom, he will bite the top of my foot.
He's never done that to me.
You remember your mom said that he's done it to her? Yeah. This is like the third or fourth time he's bit my foot. Like he was like, excuse me, I'm down here. And I like pull my foot away, and then he looks up at me like disgusted.
What are you
like,
doing?
how dare you?
What
Why would, like, it doesn't hurt.
I was biting that.
Like he doesn't like bite, like mean bite.
Yeah.
It's like a love nip, but it surprises me every time. So I do like the jerk. And then I was like, no, absolutely not. It is 6:30. It is a Saturday. I'm not feeding you. And then I went to go back into the bedroom and close the door, and he bolted in and jumped on the bed. So I picked him up and carried him over and put him on his blanket. And he like went to the end of the Foot Locker and just looked at me like, what the hell, man? I want fed. And I closed the door in his face.
He's like, excuse me, I am Finnigan, and I want something, so you should give it to me.
Yeah, you know, cats.
Bubba Ganoush.
Oh, I see a tail. Hi, Bubbers. It's like they've never been down here before.
Every week.
Every week. It's like they've never been down here. Like, this is amazing.
Dad's been down here all week. What's he done? I haven't done shit this week.
Are you going to chill out and be part of the podcast today?
For a minute.
I found an Am I the Asshole on Reddit.
Okay.
I've already read it.
You read it on Reddit?
Reddit, yeah. I would like to get your opinion. I won't tell you what my opinion is yet.
I am concerned.
No, it's just as soon as I read the title, I knew. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to watch my favorite movies with me?
No.
Last weekend was my male 28 birthday. My girlfriend, female 25, had asked what I wanted to do, and I said I wanted to watch my favorite movie trilogy, Lord of the Rings. I don't think my girlfriend was thrilled, but she didn't say anything and agreed. She has seen them before.
Hey, get down. Hey!
He's getting... Finny, get down.
Get down. Down.
Figure out how to get down safely.
Okay.
Kitties don't do things safely. She has seen them before, and I don't think she really likes them very much, but she knows I love them, so she doesn't really say anything besides they aren't really her thing. I really wanted to make a day of watching them, and I went over to her house because she has a really big, comfortable couch. About 10 minutes into the first movie, I look over and she's browsing on her phone. I was a little miffed, but didn't say anything. She basically scrolled through her phone the entire movie. When we started the second movie, she opened a bottle of wine and proceeded to drink the whole thing while still sitting and playing on her phone. I was pretty irritated at this point because she wasn't even paying attention at all. The third movie started, and by then she had opened another bottle of wine and was asleep within the first 20 minutes of the movie. I was really mad at that point and just left and went home. A few hours later, I got a text asking where I went. I told her I was mad that she couldn't pay attention to my favorite movies on my birthday. She told me I was an asshole and to grow the hell up. I've texted her a couple times since, and she hasn't responded. Am I the asshole?
No.
Yes.
Why?
Okay, maybe asshole might be too harsh of a term, but he has no right being mad at her. She was still there. She was still with him for his birthday, but knowing full well she didn't like them, she was finding something to keep herself entertained. Asking someone, even on their birthday, to sit and watch 10 hours of movies you hate.
That's the question. Which version is it?
Well, even if it's like the normal version, aren't they like 2 or 3 hours a pop anyway?
I think
like
the
3
normal
hours?
version is like 2 hours. You're thinking the director's
well, the
cut's
director's
like
cut's like 3. Oh, okay. I thought they were like 5.
No.
Okay. So 6 hours worth of movies for something that you don't like and asking them, wanting them to be fully like in it.
Scrolling on her phone, okay, that's fine. But
you'd be mad if I was going to say you'd be mad if I drank a bottle of wine.
That's fine. But drinking until you fall asleep for the third one, that would
Did she drink so much that she fell asleep, or did she just fall asleep because they're boring as fuck?
Either way. No, I'm kind of on board with him.
I'm more on her side. Yeah. I think falling
that's because
asleep.
You hate Lord of the Rings.
I do. That's why I think it's perfect though, yeah. Because if we were in that situation and you asked me to watch them with you, I would do what I normally do. I would either be scrolling on my phone, or I would be like playing Animal Crossing, or I would be playing a game on my tablet. I would still be on, I would still be sitting with you, but I wouldn't be paying that much attention. I'd look up occasionally.
Years ago, we did the vampires versus werewolves marathon.
I actually didn't think I was going to like it, and I did.
What that was, it makes me think of that. We did a comparison over a few days. She picked the Twilight movies.
Yeah.
And I picked the Underworld movies.
Yeah.
Because they were both vampires versus werewolves.
I would like to point out, though, I am not a Twilight fan. I just did it because I thought it would be funny.
We both sat and watched the other person's pick.
No, that's
regardless.
True. That is true.
And I feel like she did the bare minimum. I feel like she absolutely did the bare minimum. She showed up and just sat there and did her own thing.
Again, though, 6 hours of movies. I would have given him one movie, maybe.
Maybe.
That's true. That's hard. Because if I had seen, okay, if you come up to me and say, girlfriend, for my birthday, but see, that would be different too, because you don't celebrate your birthday. So if you actually wanted to do something for your birthday, I would 100% do it. Girlfriend, all I really want to do is watch, I'm going to do the director cuts because I know you always talk about them.
Yeah.
I really want to sit and watch the director cuts of Lord of the Rings with you. But you wouldn't do that to me because you know I wouldn't
do that to anybody.
Miserable.
I wouldn't do that to anybody because I like the Lord of the Rings movies, but I have a hard time. I did it once.
I know you did.
We did it once. We sat and watched all 3 directors cuts
I
back
am not
to back.
part of that we.
That was the entire day.
Yeah.
That was the entire day. I wouldn't do that to anybody.
Okay,
even
so
a fan.
Let's go with, if you said, girlfriend, I want to sit down and watch all of the Star Wars movies. It would get to a point where I would get bored and want...
Again, that's like 9 movies. But still, I get what you're saying. I mean, there could have been a different thing, but I mean, that's what he wanted to do. And granted, sure, she could have I don't know. She put in minimum effort to start with and then literally checked out. She fell asleep on the 3rd movie.
It was his birthday, so she shouldn't have checked out. I agree. But I think I'm being 100% honest with you right now. If we sat down to watch 3 of the movies because you really wanted to watch them, I would not be able to sit and pay attention the whole way through. They're boring. Mm-hmm. And I love you, and I would want to do it for you, but I wouldn't be able to concentrate the whole time. So I kind of I can see both points.
I can see both points too, but
can we just say no one's the asshole and he should probably have just picked a friend that actually liked them to watch them with him?
yeah, they should have done something like that. But I mean, he wanted to share that with her.
But she'd already seen them. It would be different if she had never seen
true.
them.
Yeah.
Like if you know that I hate, like, okay, you know I don't like The Lord of the Rings.
And you've seen it, and I would make you sit down and watch.
And I've seen them, but if I had never seen them, and like when I hadn't seen any of the Star Wars movies,
and I made you sit down and
you didn't
watch
make
them.
me. Don't say make.
Well,
because that sounds bad.
Yeah.
But if
when
I hadn't seen them, and you said, "Girlfriend, I really think you should just give them a shot just to watch them, so you can say, look, I've seen them. You'll get the references. You'll know what's going on."
But we didn't do that shit in one day.
No, but I focused and I paid attention because it was something that you wanted me to do. But now if you said, "Girlfriend, I want to sit down and watch Lord of the Rings," I'll be like, "All right, peace out. Have fun. I'm going to do something else."
But it's also one of those things. What is she normally? Is that her normal behavior for watching movies?
That's true too, because I do that a lot.
You do that. Do. I'm a child.
I can't give my 100% attention to a lot of the things that like I have to be doing something else.
And whenever, even whenever you pick something that you want to watch, you're still usually playing a game on your tablet or scrolling on your phone.
It really depends on what the thing is, though, too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's still
like when I was watching my trashy reality TV yesterday. I have to have something else to do, which I would like to make a note on the podcast that I think I said before that my guilty pleasure reality TV show right now is Love is Blind. There have been a couple nights that I just want to come home and turn my brain off and I just have it playing and then I'm playing video games or doing whatever while it's on in the background. And yesterday, Aaron came down and decided he was going to sit with me. Well, we were eating dinner and I'm like, "Can we please just watch my show? I only have like 2 episodes left until it's over." And you're like, "Yeah, whatever." So you stayed, you watched, you focused more, I think, than I did on it. And then when it was done, you asked me a question and I was trying to remember people's names and you knew the names and I didn't.
But I was watching it.
You were watching and I was kind of...
But that's just, and you're factoring that up to like actual interest. But it's just, again, it's just the difference between us watching TV shows and stuff.
You did say you actually had interest in one couple. Not like interest, but you actually were curious if the one couple made it.
They were awesome.
They were an amazing couple.
Every other couple on there seemed like your typical reality TV show.
Yeah, you could tell they were like pulling at straws to make them like
those two
pretend like they had issues just because they needed some sort of drama for them on the TV show.
I wanted to sit on the couch and veg out, and that was what was there, so I was going to watch it. Yeah. I'm not typically a phone scroller or doing something else. You are. So I'm sitting there and it's there. I'm not interested in it, but it's there.
You're a phone scroller, but not when there's...
Sometimes.
You're 100% a phone scroller. I feel like you do it all the time. But for some reason, when the TV's on, you just focus on the TV and don't.
That's
You've
what I do
always
everywhere.
Been that way.
That's what I do everywhere.
Like if we go to a restaurant and there's a TV, I have to make sure that he sits with his back to the TV or he will focus on the TV and I could be...
It doesn't matter what's on the TV. I will watch anything that's on there. It's moving, so I'm like drawn. I'm just sucked into TVs. I'm sucked into screens like that.
It's funny.
I'll sit there and watch cricket for like an hour and a half.
Focused on screens in general. That's why, like, even if you're not watching a TV, then you're on your phone scrolling through Reddit and it's not a bad thing. That's just what you... That's just your thing.
And I'm aware of that too. I try to be aware of that. So like if something important is coming, like if you need hey, 100%. I need to talk to you, and I'll like, okay, boom. Put it down.
No. And I was going to say, like, this is not like a fault that you have. Like, if we're in the middle of a conversation, you're not going to pick up your phone and start scrolling. Like, you're going to focus and pay attention to me. You do the same thing with other people. Like, when there's other people over, if Thru's hanging out and we're talking and, doing whatever, you can zone out and you can be on your phone. But then occasionally you'll put the phone down and then you'll generally engage in the conversation if it's something that you feel like talking about.
And I think I've caught her off guard a couple times because she thinks I'm scrolling on my phone and not paying attention. And then I'm just like, retort.
And then I'll say something and you'll make a funny retort and she'll like look at me and I'm like, he does that. This is what he does. Yeah. Like you're still for the most part paying attention.
I'm not totally checked out.
You're not totally checked out.
Unless there's something really interesting. And you've
I've caught you on that.
What?
I've caught you doing that before.
Yeah, like but I was going to say, you can figure that out.
Oh, yeah.
You can figure out whenever I'm like actually absorbed in something I'm looking at or whenever it's just...
100%. You have a look on your face. Sometimes it's just like that glazed over like look and that's when you're just like scrolling but you're paying attention.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I can like tell like you are focused. And then I'm like, what you reading? And half the time you don't even hear me. I'm like,
bad at that.
And then I'm usually like, okay, good talk. Interesting. Glad
like,
you're looking
what?
back. I know, and then you're like, huh?
That's
And
a
I'm like, nothing. It's fine, babe.
that's a
Just keep
weird way to
reading.
start a conversation. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a little asshole both. If she didn't really want to do it, if she's gonna check out, she should be like anything else. But I get the intent behind it.
But I feel like she was still trying to be a decent person because he said, again, if she had never seen them, then it would be more her being an asshole. But he says right in it, she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
So she's seen them.
Was it some kind of weird test?
Then he's an asshole.
That just popped into my head. Was it like, okay, I know you don't like these.
No, I was reading the comments.
I know you don't like these movies. I know you've already seen them.
But I want to see if you'll do it for me.
For my birthday. And if it's
that's an asshole thing.
That's a manipulative asshole thing.
Yes. Okay, so the very first comment is, you're the asshole. She's seen them before. She didn't like them, yet she agreed to be there with you while you watch them on your birthday without complaint. Why does it matter if she's paying attention? What do you gain from that except the validation of forcing someone to pay attention to something you like for however long that bloody trilogy is? That is not a small amount of time she dedicated to being there with you, despite you both knowing she would get nothing out of it. You are kind of ungrateful and controlling, not to mention the way you just let yourself get angrier and angrier about it until you stormed out without saying anything to her. She's right. You could stand to grow up. That's exactly how I feel about it.
I also agree that he should have said something. He shouldn't have just stormed out. That's never a good look. High five.
Hold on. Hey! He was on the speaker.
Oh, no, we don't get on these speakers.
The niece is playing.
Oh.
She came over and was like...
He doesn't know what to do with himself today.
No, he doesn't. Sorry, what were you saying?
He should have said something.
And even if, like, if she was scrolling on her phone or when she opened up the bottle of wine, if he really wanted her to focus, he should have said something like, hey, I really kind of wanted to watch these together. And then if she was like, dude, I'm watching these movies, you know I don't like them, I'm sorry, you have to let me do my thing, then they could have figured out what they were going to do.
I feel like 80% of the stuff we read on Reddit could have been fixed with like 2 sentences worth of communication.
Yeah.
So many.
100%.
And what was I just seeing? I just saw something the other day about movie tropes or television tropes that are tired and overused. One of the tropes that one of the top comments was conflict that could have been resolved with a sentence.
So easily and quickly with a sentence. And people do that all the time.
They do it all the time. I don't understand what's so hard about talk. I mean, it's usually like significant others or family members. I don't understand what's so difficult about just speaking up a little bit. Sometimes, he escalated a situation by not saying anything and just leaving.
I want to keep reading more of the comments just because they express how I felt. He's on his hind legs and he's jumping up. It's really cute.
He really wants to loach.
It's because the loach is pretty active. Oh, look at it. He's so cute. Honestly, I don't think it's unreasonable to want to share your favorite movie/show with your partner, especially on your birthday, if they haven't already seen it. I share things with my wife that I know she isn't super interested in, and she will pay attention and talk about it with me for a little bit, and I'll do the same for her interests because we love each other. But come on, man. 3 movies that she's already seen and disliked, especially when they're around 3 hours each, that's just not reasonable. And then the other one, one more, and then you can comment. It's kind of like picking where you go to dinner on your birthday. My husband is vegetarian and hates sushi. I love sushi. On my birthday, we often go get sushi. He eats a vegetarian noodle dish that is basically fine, but not what he would ever pick to spend money on. And that's okay, because it's for my birthday. If I wanted to go to a 24-hour sushi convention filled with sushi classes and sushi tasting and lectures by top sushi chefs around the world, where only sushi would be served the entire time, I would never ask him to go with me, birthday or not. That's asking way too much of anybody. A single dinner or a single film, fine. An all-day extravaganza of something you know the other person already dislikes, that's unfair. 6 hours is like almost the amount of time you spend at work.
Yeah.
That's insane.
What was he looking for?
Because it says that he just wanted to watch his favorite movies.
He wanted to watch his favorite movies, but did he just want to sit and watch his favorite movies, or did he want to nerd out? Did he want to talk about the movies?
No, either way, that's not fair. If he wanted to nerd out, you don't nerd out with somebody that doesn't like the movies.
But I mean, if that's what he wanted to do,
because I'm going to look and roll my eyes at you.
If he wanted to nerd out with the movies, and she was just, he wanted to have a discussion, he wanted to talk about it, because we've done that about movies that one or the other doesn't care about, but we watch it and we still talk about it if that's what we want to do. If he wanted to spark,
don't call it nerd out then, because nerd out to me is like, oh, because they're going to go to blah, 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 blah. This is when they do.
If he wanted to spark conversation,
true. If he wanted actual conversation while he was watching the movies and to be like, whatever, then that would maybe be one thing. But again, 3 movies.
Yeah, no, I get that too. But I mean, I understand she checked out from the get-go. I can understand why he's upset.
I can understand why she doesn't understand why he's upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he asked way too much.
The way you stated it first is like, am I the asshole for asking her to watch my favorite movies?
No.
I still agree with you. Like, there's a little bit of asshole on both sides.
Yeah.
As usual, the whole thing could have been avoided with just a little bit of conversation and a little bit of
what he was looking to get out of it.
What he was looking to get out of it.
And then what her opinion of it was.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's your birthday, like everybody was saying, there's certain things. If I love you. I love Chinese food. I wouldn't ask you to go to a Chinese buffet for my birthday. I'm going to go with somebody else.
But Chinese food, that's a bad example because Chinese food literally makes me sick.
But still,
yeah.
Lord of the Rings literally makes me sick.
No, it doesn't. You don't like it, but it doesn't make you physically ill. Like, I eat Chinese food and I feel miserable for hours.
No, that's true. That's true. They're both the asshole.
They're both a little bit of asshole. And
a little bit of asshole,
the whole
a little bit of he
situation.
should have just watched the movies with a friend that actually likes the movies and thought of something else to do with her.
But he wants her to be part of that side of everything. I can get it from the nerd's point of view. He wants, because I did make you watch Star Wars, but I didn't make you watch all of the Star Wars together.
There's a lot of things that I like that you don't, and I would never ask you to sit and do it. Now,
but we're talking 12 years into a relationship.
Bitch, we've lived together 13 years.
We're talking 15 years of a relationship.
Thank you.
Or longer.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking over a decade.
That's true.
Think back to like when we were at the apartment and we first moved into the apartment. There was a whole lot of us watching the other person's stuff.
That's true.
A whole lot of figuring, okay, so what can she, where can I bring her into the nerdy stuff? And you're like, where can I bring him into the girly stuff? And it's back and forth.
That is true.
There's a lot of that.
That's true.
So it's hard to compare a relationship that's been going on for over a decade for however long they have been together.
That is true. That's very true.
So
and I mean,
he might
again,
still be...
I wanted to watch that show yesterday, and you sat down and vegged and watched it, and you didn't complain. You weren't happy, but you didn't complain.
Mm-mm.
But at the same time, I always look at it as, like, if you want to watch something and I don't want to watch it, I'll go find something else to do. Or I will find something to do there.
And you used to be like, oh, we can turn this off, we can turn this off. I can leave.
Yeah.
I can go do something else. If I really don't want to watch this, I will leave. And I've done it.
You have.
And like, you've turned on some of that shit, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm going upstairs to do literally anything else. You know, like last night and the other night that we watched it, I wanted to veg on the couch.
Yeah.
I didn't care what. Okay.
And you could always put headphones on. You could do whatever you wanted.
I could
and
do
you were
8
just
million
like,
things.
yeah, whatever.
But I'm like, I'll watch it. Yeah.
And just so you know, Love is Blind is coming out on Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, I got shit to do. Well, you're not going to be here Friday.
That's going to be my new reality show for the next couple weeks then. And you actually said that one's better anyway.
Yeah, that's
the
a better
concept of that
concept.
One is better.
Yeah. If you don't know, the Married at First Sight, they have a bunch of experts that look over the profiles of these people. I don't know what builds the profiles.
I don't know for sure, but it's like really in depth. Like they have to do like interviews, they take questionnaires, they do all kinds of stuff. Apparently, like they don't ever tell you what it is, but they always say that it's a very in depth, like a couple week thing.
And then they do the whole thing, and then the experts match people together. And then they marry them. They bring two strangers together.
They literally meet at the altar.
Yeah, and they marry them and then give them 2 months to figure it out.
Yep.
So this season...
And then at the very end of the season...
No spoilers, but...
No. But at the very end of the season, they tell them, no.
Is he climbing up on the speaker?
He wanted to get up on the big speaker. I mean, I've seen... One of them used to do it.
Gizzard,
and you've never really yelled at her, so I guess he could. All right, go ahead.
It's hard to hurt these.
But he's not allowed on any of the other speakers, so in my head, he's not allowed up.
Oh, no, he's allowed on those. Those are built for beating. He's not allowed on those.
Okay. And they're complete wood, so what's he going to do?
But they're finished and older than both of us.
But anyway, at the end of the experiment, they call it the experiment. At the end of the experiment, they have to then decide if they're going to stay together and continue to be married or if they're going to get a divorce.
Finnigan is in the window above the drum set right now, and he's looking at the drum set. So if you hear a loud noise, Finnigan tried to jump onto the drum set. Hilarious and terrifying. If he jumps on that, I'm afraid he's gonna hurt himself.
Yeah,
there's lots of pointy
don't
bits.
jump on that.
Yeah, don't do that, buddy.
Like, no thanks, I'm good. Anyway.
So yeah, that show, they do a bunch of questionnaires and everything, put two people together and make them figure it out for 8 weeks. It takes all the interaction out. I understand the concept. It's fundamentally flawed because there's no science to attraction.
They're trying to prove that
they're trying to prove there is, and they're proving the exact opposite.
There's a ton of seasons, and I've only ever watched, I think I've seen like 3 seasons. I couldn't even tell you what season numbers they were. Out of those, I think 1 usually lasts and all the other ones get a divorce.
Yeah, that's not good odds.
No.
The other one, Love is Blind, they take 2 people. How do they figure out the 2 people?
No.
No, they take a bunch of people.
So Love is Blind, they have pods. and you have a wall between you. It's like a really cushy couch. Like they have little like in their pods that they can do. And they pretty much almost do like a speed dating thing, but with all these different people, and you just switch out of a room and meet and talk to people. And you have like a notebook and you write down who you're talking to. And they just create conversations. I think there's usually like, let's say they start with maybe 10 to 20 people, and then they wait and see who builds a connection, and you get to pick, and then the guy or the girl will propose to the other one and say, I think I would like to, I would like to marry you. And then if the other one says yes, then they continue on with the show. And so usually I think there's about 5 or so couples that actually make it through. A lot of heartbreak because one person falls in love with somebody and they don't love them back and all that nonsense.
But you still have that human connection.
But they have the human
and they don't see each other.
Other than seeing each other and touching each other, there's no like,
yeah,
there's a wall in front of you. You have no idea what the person looks like, but you are creating the chemistry with that person by conversation and getting to know one another.
The concepts are kind of completely flipped.
It's exactly flipped. Yeah. Still at the same time, you don't know what the person looks like. They're trying to prove that looks aren't everything in both of them, I think. And for some people, it's 100% that way, and some people looks is almost anything they need. Yeah. Which is weird.
Yeah. Either way, they're both gross.
It's making a mockery of marriage at this point.
Absolutely.
But if it doesn't work out, we'll just get a divorce. It's no big deal.
There were so many people that are just like, I just want to be married. I just don't want to be single anymore. It's like, this is not the way to go about it. But that's how people go about it now.
That's what marriage is nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's as much as the concept itself is disgusting. Like it is making a mockery of marriage. And I 100% agree. But at the same time, it's interesting to see the different couples interact with each other and connections that they make and don't make.
I get that. Yeah. But
I'm more invested in can they actually like get along and make it work?
Yeah, I can get that. And that's the only interest that I have in it is watching the people interact.
And watching people not figure out that communication is key to everything.
Oh my God. It just continuously blows my mind in every platform that we've been exploring for different things.
But if you look back on our relationship,
we had our biggest problems with
our biggest problem was communication before we actually officially got together.
Because you got to learn how to communicate. That's the thing.
And you have to communicate with everybody differently. Everybody has their own way of communication, and you have to figure out that person's style of communication to really make it work.
But so many people, it seems like their style of communication is to shut down and throw a tantrum, and that's just
true.
Stop. That's not constructive.
You also have to look. See, there's a lot that goes into it though, because we have different ways of communicating. Like, I'll do me. When I'm upset,
I'll do you.
Thank you. When I'm upset, depending on what has me upset, I either want to just vent and talk about it and get it out of the way. But if I'm upset with you, I don't get upset, but you know what I mean. If I get upset with you, I need to step back. I need to let myself really think about it. Because 9 chances out of 10, I'm angry about something else and I'm taking it out on you. Or
there it was. You okay, buddy? Hold on.
What? Is he okay?
He's scared the shit out of himself.
You're okay, Finny.
Yeah, so Finnigan just figured out that symbols are not stable enough for a cat to land on. Nobody seems to be hurt. Everybody seems to be terrified. He scared the crap out of himself and his niece. Everybody's fine. Nobody's hurt. Everybody's just real scared. Now he knows.
He'll probably do it again.
I'm sure he will. He's a cat. Maybe I just didn't land on it.
Maybe I didn't land on it.
I gotta land closer to the center. What were you talking about?
We were talking about communication.
Oh, that's ironic.
So when I'm upset.
Whenever you shut down and have to process, you're mad at me.
No. Because a lot of times I'm feeling feelings and I don't know exactly why.
You feel way more feelings than I do.
So yeah, I guess it's different because when I'm angry, I know why I'm angry and I can say why I'm angry. But if I'm feeling other feelings, I need to process before I talk because I don't really know maybe why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. If I'm angry, I'll just tell you why I'm angry. Unless it's something about you, then I want to try to really get my thoughts in order before I tell you because I don't want it to come across worse than it is or say something that I don't mean.
And I get that. I do the same thing. Whenever you do something that upsets or irritates me, I have to give it a little bit, I have to calm down.
And you don't tell me for a half hour or so.
That doesn't happen very often.
It very rarely happens. But I hurt your feelings the other day and it took you a while to... And I had no idea I hurt your feelings because to me, I was in a completely other headspace at that time. And it had nothing to do with you. I just said something that you took the wrong way. Maybe you didn't even take the wrong way. Maybe I said it and it was hurtful because it would have hurt my feelings if you had said that to me. I wasn't in that headspace. I was thinking about something completely different. I was in another like thought process. So to me, it was just like, whatever, and was more focused on my shit. And then when you came back to me and said, yeah, well, you actually kind of really hurt my feelings when you said that, I had to like stop and think and go, no, that would have come across as I was being mean to you or that I would have hurt your feelings. But that was never at all my intention. I wasn't even thinking like that.
I had to take a minute and come downstairs and talk to Gizzard about it.
Yeah.
And she was one like, you gotta say something, sure.
And I don't know that you were going to, though. I had to ask you.
I was going to. I was like working myself up to it. Gizzard told me I should.
But so. You and I are good with that, though. Like if one of the other hurts each other's feelings, and usually even if I would have meant it, which we've already discussed that, I didn't. But if I would have meant it, we would have sat down and I would have been able to explain better as to why I meant it. And you can explain how it hurt your feelings. And then we'd move on from there. I feel like even if we're upset with each other, once we sit down and have a conversation, we resolve it.
Yeah. But again, we're talking over a decade of being together.
100. I mean, this isn't like something you can do just right out of the gate, I'm sure.
This is something you got to work towards.
We're very good. And that's why we don't have it happen very often.
Yeah.
Because we know how to communicate with each other so it doesn't even get to the point of hurt feelings usually.
We don't argue, typically. Like most people argue or fight. We don't.
No.
And it just blows everybody's mind. But we defuse the situation.
We diffuse it way before it gets to a point where we get into a fight.
Yeah.
Because we can see, maybe not even see that one's coming, but we can be talking and you could say something and I immediately like disagree or don't like the tone or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, wait, stop, hold on. This is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Or, well, yeah, that's what I mean. And I'm like, well, this is how I'm taking it. Is this how I'm supposed to take it? And then you're like, no, like, not at all.
Yeah, we check ourselves
We're
a lot.
we check each other.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah. But we check each other and we're like, wait. Or if we start to have a conversation and somebody's already in a mood, that person will be like, hold up, this is not the time to have this conversation. Regardless if it was going to create a fight or not. I am not in the correct headspace to have this conversation because it will turn into a fight.
Yeah.
Because I'm already angry about something else.
And we did that. We just did that earlier this week because you had a rough day. The one day, and you're like,
really rough day.
And I was just tired. I hadn't slept well most of the week, and it's like right before bed.
That was the day I hurt your feelings.
Yeah, and you were just like, I'm going to talk about stuff now, and I was like, I'm so tired. I can't muster up the energy to deal with this.
Yeah.
And
I was okay with that.
I slept okay that night, and then you got home the next day.
And the next day you apologized and said, I'm really sorry. And I'm like, no, I get it. It's fine. Like,
and we hashed that shit out.
We did, and it worked out fine.
But it's just, it's...
FedEx is here.
Something for you, I'm guessing.
I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh, I ordered Carolina coffee.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to have different coffee.
I'm so
I got two kinds we hadn't tried before, though.
Nice. I hope our coffee maker doesn't. Our coffee maker is really weird. It made a full pot this morning. We never make a full pot, so
and I only had enough grounds in it for 6 cups of coffee because that's how much I make.
It was super weak.
And I checked all of the settings. All of the settings were correct. And I know I had poured out the coffee, and I knew I had filled it because I fill it first with a cup, and then I go and fill the kitty water dish.
I'm guessing it clusterfucked or something and just drained the tank for whatever reason. So we'll have to keep.
Is it bad that in a way I was kind of hoping it was busted and I wanted a different coffee maker?
You always want a different coffee maker. What do you want
this
now?
One, I don't know, but this one annoys me because you can't pick how many cups. You have to pick like the different levels, and that really bothers me.
It doesn't bother me because the cups. I mean, look at our cups.
No, but like
I
on weekdays, think like that. I have to make 6 cups of coffee, and we're throwing so much coffee away. I'm wasting coffee grounds. I'm wasting coffee. I'm wasting everything because I have like 2 sips of my coffee during the weekday, and then I get ready and I go to work. Now weekends, 6 cup of coffee makes sense because between our 2 cups, like the actual cups we have, we went through 6 cups of coffee almost. But you can't make after the quarter of the carafe that is the 6 cups, the next one down is like a travel mug, and you have to use a travel mug. They don't let you do any other size for the carafe or carafe or however carafe.
I don't know. Carafe. We will refer to it as a carafe now.
But it's just
it's too smart for us.
It's just the 2 of us. It would have been better for a family of 4 that drank coffee.
Yeah. We always have better luck with dumber coffee pots.
I would rather have just but then I was like, and then I started looking into like coffee pots with grinders built in because that coffee grinder makes a mess.
We got that coffee maker because it could do the iced coffee, but you haven't. You made iced coffee a couple times and really liked it, and then haven't made it since. Yeah. But summer's coming, so eventually.
But now I kind of just want a coffee pot with a grinder built in, so then it's less hassle and it's less mess on the counter.
Yeah, she does the coffee every night. She does the coffee while I feed the critters. Whatever you want to do, as long as I get coffee.
They're
in the morning.
expensive, though.
Of course they are.
I mean, the one I was looking at was $400.
Oh, that's expensive.
I wasn't lying.
That's too many dollars.
But if you think about it, the coffee pot we have now was close to $200, I think.
Too many dollars.
And
too.
the grinder was like $50, so you're already at $250. And that grinder's old.
It is old, but
I mean, I'm not saying we need it right this second.
Right
but
now.
Part of me was like...
Right now, we're stopping the podcast and going to buy coffee.
Part of me was kind of this morning like, ooh, does that mean I get to go shopping for a new coffee pot today? I like new coffee pots. I like new things.
We've got like 3 old coffee pots.
But they all are broken. I don't know why we keep them.
In case.
In case what? The one pours coffee on the counter.
No, we got rid of that one.
Did we?
We did. That one's gone.
Okay.
We woke up the one day and came downstairs
and
and
our entire pot of coffee was on the counter and on the floor.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
That wasn't coffee. That was just water. It never made it to the coffee, I don't think. Because the hose inside busted.
You're right. It didn't make it to coffee.
Yeah, it was just water everywhere and no coffee. Because if it was coffee all over the counter, I just would have wiped it up with the cloth and wrung it out in a cup and lived my life.
That's gross.
I need my coffee in the morning. I don't function. You know this.
It's true. I can go without it.
Yeah, you can wake up, put on clothes, and head on out the door. And I'm just like, what? No.
I can 100% do that. I don't need coffee to wake me up. Coffee does not do anything for me other than it's become a ritual at this point. Mm-hmm. But I don't need it to thrive and survive in the morning.
Coffee, constitutional, then move on with my day.
Yeah, I don't need any of that.
I'm a creature of habit. You know
you
this.
are. No, 100%.
How I be.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I know, it kind of sounds like there's something wrong with it.
Oh, is this going to start a fight?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's fight on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm right. You're wrong there.
Okay. We're not good at this.
We're not. He's a very long Finnigan.
Where's he at?
He's over here.
Oh. Is he all stretched out again?
He was. Now he's more cat-shaped.
There's a loaf of Bubs over here.
That's the golden loaf.
That's the golden loaf. It's a big old loaf.
It's the loaf that was baked properly at the correct temperature.
Yes. We've got the golden loaf that was baked properly. We've got the undercooked loaf. And then we've got the burnt loaf. And they're all just loafing around. Oh. Huh. That was funny, damn it.
Oh, man, it was so
I'm
funny.
hilarious.
You are just a hilarious person.
That's my charm.
Sorry, I'm watching Finnigan climb up on the cat tower to get to the window, and now he's trying to figure out how to get under the curtain. It's really cute. All right, he's in the window. He's happy.
Good.
He loves windows.
Yes, he does.
I feel like most cats like windows, but he's like obsessed with windows.
Windows and catios. He's like, this is the best shit ever.
Everything outside. Mm-hmm. We really have to be careful with him because one of these days he is going to pull it out.
Once he gets a little settled in and calmed down,
are we going to try to train him? Mm-hmm. Like we did with Bubs, because your mom had him trained. Like he wouldn't get off of her porch,
he wouldn't
so
leave her porch. Yeah.
We could train him. I think. Yeah. I think he'd be fun on like fire pits, like out there.
Maybe we thought the same thing about Bubs, and that didn't work well at all.
It's because he eats the grass.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason that it doesn't work out for Bubs, because Bubs does not get off of that patio. Yeah. He just eats the grass.
He eats grass and leaves and then barfs it up
and then gets
everywhere.
really sick. But I feel like Finnigan doesn't care.
He snuck into the laundry room earlier this week. Bubs snuck into the laundry room earlier this week and got locked in the laundry room and just went crazy eating leaves.
It's so funny because I went down. I was getting in the freezer to get out chicken. I got in the freezer, got chicken, turned around, looked all around to see if there was a kitty, and there wasn't. And then I came out and like there was a kitty on the steps. So I'm like, okay, good girl, you didn't go in. Closed the door, came upstairs, went about the rest of my day, and he wasn't in there too long.
No, he's usually not the one that sneaks in there either.
No, that's the thing. Like I saw Gizmo, she's the one that sneaked. So I saw Gizzy, and I'm like, okay, we're good. And then I was cooking dinner or doing something, and I heard Bubs just crying. And I'm like, where is he? Did you lock him in the catio? And you're like, the catio hasn't been open all day. And I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Is he in the basement? And you came down, and there he was.
Dum, 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 dum. The basement door is recessed about 2 or 3 feet into the ground, and leaves just gather there.
Finny, don't do it. Finnigan!
He's very bad.
Get down!
Kitties. What was he on?
The record player.
No, sir.
He stepped off the cat tower and went down to the record player.
He likes record players. I cleaned so many footprints off of the ones upstairs. But yeah, our basement door is recessed, and it's just leaves just gathering there, like dead leaves. So as soon as we open that basement door, we get dead leaves in the laundry room. I try to keep up and keep them vacuumed because Bubbles loves to eat them for some reason, but I didn't this time. I've been in and out of the basement a couple times, and it just built up, and I didn't clean in between. I need to clean, but I haven't. And then he got locked in there and ate a bunch of leaves, then barfed them all up.
For like the next 2 days. And he knows it makes him sick.
He knows.
And he knows he's not supposed to eat them because as soon as you catch him and you yell at him, he's like a little kid and just goes as fast as he can and chomps and chomps and chomps to try to get it in before you take it away from him. He's ridiculous.
He goes double speed.
Finnigan, what did I tell you? Get down! So bad.
Welcome to this episode of Yelling at Kitties.
You are a naughty sausage.
Super bad. Gonna fit in here so well.
Come here, now I will force love upon you.
No!
That's the worst.
He is so high strung today. I don't know what.
He scared himself.
He's losing his little. He's been high strung since this morning.
Oh, that's true.
We were sitting in the back room and he's just bolting full tilt. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, okay.
He's in a playful mood.
So if you had to pick one, going back to the other question, if you had to pick one, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, and we're just going to go original trilogies,
Okay.
which one would you pick?
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Star Wars in a heartbeat.
And if we are going with extended trilogies, so let's say prequels for Star Wars or The Hobbit for Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars.
Yep. It's because it's better.
I do not like Lord of the Rings. I wouldn't say I don't like Star Wars. It's not something that I would want to watch all the time or that I'm like really invested in. But if one evening you were like, hey, I kind of want to watch one of the Star Wars movies, you down? I'll watch it with you. But if you were like, hey, I want to watch one of the Lord of the Rings, I'll be like, have fun.
And we watched, when we did Star Wars, we did it chronologically in the order that it happened, if I remember right. So we watched the prequels and then we got hit with that quality drop. Did we not do that?
Wait.
The prequels were the
original ones? We
No.
watched them in the way they were made. They were made.
Did we?
We did.
So we watched
So
the
I
Luke
watched-
Skywalker ones
I
first.
watched Luke Skywalker
Okay.
ones first. And then we had to go backtrack and then we went.
And you like the prequels better, if I remember
What
right.
are the prequels again?
The ones with
The prequels are
Anakin.
the newer ones that were made.
Oh, I mean, the newer ones are the ones after the original
See,
trilogy. Yeah.
The original movies that were made are technically 4, 5, and 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No, I feel like I liked 4, 5, and 6 better than 1, 2, 3. I don't remember. I really don't remember.
yeah.
And please don't make me watch all of them again.
Well, I guess we're going to have to. And we're up to like 10 of them at
Okay,
this point.
here is
You watched Rogue One with me, right? That was the one that was completely off the grid with what's
is that
her
the one
name?
that had nothing to do with anything, and then at the
Yeah.
end they all blew up?
Yeah.
I loved that
It
one.
was really good.
I thought that
Rogue
one was really good.
I didn't make you watch the new ones with Rey and what's his...
No, I have not seen those.
Those were, the one was really good, and then the other ones were kind of...
I really don't have any interest in those. I feel bad. I mean, I would if you really wanted me
I didn't
to,
have
but
much
I don't really
interest.
have much interest in watching those. And I didn't have much interest in watching, I didn't think I had much interest watching The Mandalorian
Yeah.
or the other one. I ended up really liking The Mandalorian.
I like The Mandalorian. Boba Fett annoyed me.
I did not like that one. I stopped watching that one. with
Boba
you.
Fett annoyed me because it just turned into the next season of The Mandalorian halfway through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got like halfway through, and then The Mandalorian came in, and it was just about him then. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's
what the
weird.
fuck is this?
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan. of it.
Andor was really good.
I have no idea what that
I
is. so
kind of
didn't
make
see
you
it.
want to watch Andor because it was
Kinda
really
make
good.
You kind of want to make me want. You said I don't even know how you said it. Anyway, go ahead.
I kind of want to
What?
make you watch Andor because it's not a Star Wars story, but it's set in the Star Wars universe. It's really
Oh,
good.
it's that one that you watched. I
It's
remember you told me.
really good.
I would give it a try.
It's like a heist movie in space. At least that's how it
Oh,
starts.
it's a movie. So
No,
it's
it's not a movie, but it's like a heist movie
Okay.
set in space.
I
And
would give it an
it's really
episode
good.
and see what I think of it.
It's really good.
That's usually what we do with each other. If
Mhm.
we kind of are interested in maybe watching a show, we'll be like, give it an episode, see what you think.
I really
that-
liked it. I was surprised at how much I liked it.
All right. You usually have to give it more than one episode, though, because we did that with The Office and hated it. And then we ended
Yeah.
up watching The Office and loved it, but we
Yeah.
had to get through that first whole season.
But we didn't for Shrinking.
Oh my God, Shrinking was so
Oh,
good.
so good.
We were like, we're going to give it an episode. And then we sat and watched like 5 episodes in one sitting. I'm
Yeah.
so mad that we're done with it already.
It's so good. And Ted
We got
Lasso
done
just
with it
came
in 2
out.
days.
Ted Lasso is the exact opposite.
Which
You
show
watch
do
one
you like
episode, you're
more?
just started. I
Can
like
you
them.
pick?
No,
I can't either.
I like them both for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't laughed out loud.
Harrison Ford is
Harrison Ford is hilarious.
amazing in that. So good because he just
All of them are
His-
funny though. The girl,
yeah,
like, they're
absolutely.
just.
His gruff one-liners though
Oh my
are
God,
just
he's so
oh my
funny.
good.
I haven't laughed out loud from a television show that much in my entire life. I've never seen a television show that makes me laugh out loud more than that show did.
I have a feeling that has a lot to do with Jason Segel. I don't know, but I'm guessing that he does some writing because some of the writing in that show is very similar to other movies and TV shows he's been in. It's a
Yes.
very similar writing
Yeah.
style. So I have a feeling that he has
He is
something.
a clever son of a bitch.
He is.
I like
yes.
him.
There's a lot of similarities to some of the movies he's been in that we really liked.
Yeah.
A lot of like the dialogue and
Mhm.
stuff. So I don't know. I'm just
It's
guessing.
the same kind of sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like, they're not exactly alike. Like, you're
They're
not
not.
watching one and knowing
No,
what
it's
you're
not a
gonna get
carbon
into,
copy.
but it's definitely similar.
It's not like old Adam Sandler movies, which were just the same thing with different characters.
Yeah.
But it's just the dialogue's similar.
Yeah.
It's like Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
You always know it's a Kevin Smith movie because of the dialogue, because it's just overly wordy, pretentious. Nobody talks like that.
Yeah.
But you can always tell it has a similar dialogue.
But it's still completely different stories.
Yeah,
and it's
completely
yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a You like Lord of the Rings.
I don't love Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I don't love Lord of the Rings, but the movies, I find the movies entertaining. And like I watched that prequel TV show last year.
Yeah, you watched that.
It was all right. I didn't hate it. It was good. I think I liked it. Wait, which one? I might be getting my shit confused. No, Lord of the Rings. It was okay. Because I watched the Lord of the Ring one and I watched the House of Dragons at the same time.
House of Dragons was good.
I watched them at the same time, going
Yeah.
back and forth. So they kind of blended a little bit.
Did you
in
watch
my
House of
mind.
the Dragons before I watched them?
I watched the first half of the season before.
Oh, and then we
Because I
went
started
back.
watching it
Okay.
and then you.
And then I came in and went, wait, I might actually kind of like this.
So we went back and caught up
Okay.
on it.
Okay.
So I was watching both of them at the same time as they were going through.
I'm not watching The Witcher anymore when it comes out.
Well, this will be the last season with
He
Henry
is in
Cavill.
this.
He's in
Okay,
this
I'll watch
season.
this season,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to watch it after that.
Yeah.
I can't. My
Yeah.
brain won't.
I'll
Certain
probably-
times you can replace
probably check it out.
characters out. I won't. I'm done.
I'll probably check it out. Jack, the new Ryan, yes, that's out. I need to watch that. That was really
Yeah, that's
good.
not a me show.
No, it's not a you show at all. But it's I like the first.
So I'm going back real quick, just talking about movies, and for some reason my brain has stuck on this. The absolute worst case scenario for me would be, which one would you rather watch, Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
No.
No, that would be like the worst
yeah, no,
scenario
absolutely.
for me
Yeah.
ever, because
Well, I would
I
never.
can't stand either. If you asked me to, I really think I would tell you no. I don't think I could do it. I genuinely do not like either of those. And I know people are going to give me shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd get more shit for Harry Potter than I would for Lord of the Rings. And I've seen almost all of them.
I've seen quite a few of them too, and they just never really did it for me either.
I just don't understand the fascination with it.
I
don't
totally-
get it. And everybody's like, oh, you should read the books. I've tried 4 times. I can't do it.
No,
They're
the
awful.
books are awful. The books
you
are
read them?
so terrible. No, I tried. I couldn't.
Okay, I
They're
was going to
just-
say, I didn't think you
they're so
actually read
bad.
them.
So bad. And what was the other? What was it? Because they're, I think they're focused more young adult,
Oh, they are.
and
think.
that's just not for me. Because it was what was the one with
Katniss?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause everybody said about reading the books for those, and I tried, and I was just
I got halfway through the first book
I didn't
and
even
went,
make it.
I think I got maybe a quarter of the way through the first book and went, no, this
Yeah.
is not this. And I read
Yeah, you read a lot.
I read young adult.
Yeah.
Like I read pretty much anything I can get my hands on. But
Because they're easy reads. You know.
yeah, I can very quickly read a book like in a day and I'm fine. And I could not get into Harry Potter and I could not get into
Hunger Games.
Yes. I wanted to say Mockingbird or Mockingjay, but that's
Mockingjay.
part of
Yeah, no, I could not get into either of the books. And, I watched some of the
I
Harry
have not read
Potters
Lord
and
of the Rings. I have read The Hobbit. It's horrible.
Oh, we want to talk about people that are going to backlash. Yeah, I do not like Tolkien's writing at all. I don't like it. I've read The Hobbit. I've read The Lord of the Rings, and I don't like how he writes. And that's my genre, straight up.
It is 100%.
That's totally my genre, but Tolkien does not do it for me for some reason.
You know what other books I don't like that people love? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe books.
I feel like I tried them at one point.
I feel like you might actually not mind them.
I feel like I tried them at one point, and I don't remember. I'd be surprised if I hadn't at some point, but they just didn't. I liked that movie, but it was also a little weird.
That's that genre, though. Like, that's just,
it was just
and
a little weird.
I guess the books get way weirder near the end. Like I think it's political. I don't know why you go from fantasy to politics.
Because
that's what the Hunger Games did too.
Everything is politics.
I hate it.
Yeah.
When I read a book, I don't want to worry about. And now it's scary because things that happened in fantasy novels are starting to kind of come across and happen in real life, and it's like I don't need to read this.
But that's a lot of like some of the science fiction. That's why I stayed away from science fiction for so long, because a lot of that is just like politics and economics. It's weird.
Yeah, and it's just not. That is not what I feel like reading about.
And your dad like loves those. He's like tells me, "Oh, you should try this." And I try it. And it's just like this is just.
Because that's how my dad's brain works.
It is.
My
Yes,
dad
he's very
enjoys that.
analytical.
He's very analytical, and he likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's very analytical.
So it makes sense why. And because I've had him read a couple books that I thought he'd like, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I didn't like it." And it's just like it was just specifically reading to read, and he's just like there wasn't enough analytical stuff in it to make him like his brain.
That's just how he is.
Yeah.
So like we went back and forth for a while there recommending, because we're both in a lot of the same
genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave me Robin Hobb. I really liked Robin Hobb.
You did like that.
But there were some other ones that just didn't click at all.
You guys don't necessarily you like the same sort of genre, but you don't like the same sort of authors, and that's the amazing thing about books.
Yeah. Do you remember the Dinosaurs in Space one that I had read that I thought was amazing? Oh no, he would hate that one.
Oh, he would 100% hate it.
Hate everything about it.
See, and it's funny because I read anything and everything. Like my mom has recommended. I wouldn't recommend most of my books to my mom, because I know that that's not her style. But my mom has recommended and given me some books to read, and she's just like, here, I really liked it. You should read it. And I've liked every single book that she's recommended except for one of her favorites. I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, it was Anne of Green Gables, but she recommended the first book. But then, of course, I went crazy because there's like 6 of them. So then I read like 5 of the 6, and
That doesn't sound like you.
I'm like, Mom, this is dumb. And she's like, well, which you didn't like it? And I'm like, no, it gets. And she's like, oh, I haven't even read that far into the series. And I'm like, well, don't. They're not that great.
Yeah.
My mom has a very interesting. She doesn't have a specific genre of book.
No, she's all over the place.
She's kind of like me, where she just reads. And like she's been reading books that are more like faith driven, but still.
Yes.
So she reads fiction books. They have like messages or kind of like you read it and you're supposed to feel something or learn something.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure how I'd feel about that, but they're really good.
Yeah.
Like she had me read. Do you remember the one she had me read? It was a trilogy, and I read it the last beach vacation we had, and it was like this thick. Like they were huge.
Yeah, I remember.
And at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get into this, because it was very, very much religion based. It wasn't, but it was a lot of faith based, I guess. Yeah. And I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about it, but the story was amazing. I mean, it was phenomenal. I wish I remembered what it was called, because I would actually say it on here if anybody was interested in trying it, because it was good.
Then you had my parents. My dad, Louis L'Amour Westerns. My mom, trashy fucking romance novels.
Yeah, she really loved the trashy romance.
That's like it.
She was not a fan of the books that I suggested for her to read, because there was no trashy romance. There was no sexing up in champagne rooms in those books, and she was like, no thanks.
Nope, that was it. Like when Dad died, we had like 2 whole boxes that were nothing but Louis L'Amour paperbacks.
I never
read
one of those
either.
in my life.
Never been.
No interest.
But that was all him, man. It was like the Louis L'Amour, the old spaghetti westerns. Like that was all him. He loved that whole thing.
Your whole family were definite readers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your sister and I have a similar sense of.
Because you guys swap books back and forth.
There's been a couple that I've given her, and she's like, nah. Yeah. And she's recommended a couple, but I haven't gotten them because she can't share them with me, because she uses it on her Kindle or whatever. Yeah. Or her Nook. She has a Kindle or a Nook. I don't remember. I think you can share them now.
I think she has a Nook and you can't share them across to Kindle.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
So I just haven't gotten around to buying them, but I do want to read some of the ones that she suggested, because Michelle and I have similar-ish. Like I said, I can read anything, and I think your sister pretty much does too. I feel like she's kind of she likes to zone out, I think. If I'm wrong, Michelle, I'm sorry. Like she likes to read a book and zone out and not like have it be anything about what's going on in her life then. And that's kind of what I do. As long as it's not similar to my life, I'll pretty much read anything. Yeah. I've read autobiographies. I've read biographies. I'll read anything you pretty much put in front of me. I'll at least give it a good attempt.
I know whenever I started reading like novels, like whenever I started really reading, there was quite the conversation about it, because I was like 11 or 12 and diving right into Stephen King.
Me too.
My parents had a conversation
about whether or not you should be allowed to.
Yep. And they let me do it. So it was, we would go for groceries, and grocery store had paperback section.
Okay.
And they had Stephen King. And somebody...
That's an amazing grocery store, first of all.
Yeah. Somebody that I'd gone to school with was reading Stephen King. So I was like curious about it.
Do you remember what your first Stephen King book was?
Pet Sematary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started with Pet Sematary.
What a way to start. Especially being a family that loves animals. Like,
yeah. And I don't know if Dad had ever read any of them, but he knew of Stephen King. Everybody
knows, yeah.
Mom had read a couple of them. She had read Firestarter, and she really liked it. And then she had read Cujo and never read another one.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
She's an animal lover. It doesn't surprise me.
They were both kind of like, but they let me do it, which was probably, in retrospect, they shouldn't have.
No, I don't think so.
But that's where it started. It started with...
Why do you say it probably shouldn't have?
I was too young for some of that shit.
See, I don't think so.
You don't think?
No, I think you were mature enough to...
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe.
Well...
Obviously I was.
So
it didn't fuck me up
That's
too
what I mean.
bad.
It didn't fuck you up. So my experience, have I told you my experience with Stephen King? I don't want to get too in depth into my family history, but my father's parents, they lived in Florida all of my life. And so we would go once a year for a week and visit them. And I'm trying to figure out how to say this politely. I didn't get along with them very well. I didn't get along with my grandmother very well for a good portion of my life. We did reconcile near the end of her life, and everything is perfectly great now, and I have nothing but wonderful things to say about her, but I had a lot of hurt feelings around her. So when we would go, I would try to avoid interactions as much as possible to protect my mental health and emotional health. So I would try to bring books. I would try to, you couldn't sit and watch TV or she would be mad that you were spending so much time watching TV because you were rotting your brain. If I swam too much, then I was bringing water into whatever. So there was one summer, I want to say I was probably like 11, 12. We had gone and I had brought like 3 books with me. And within 2 days, I had finished all 3 of my books. So my grandfather had a study. And in his study, he had a bookshelf and he had tons of books. And I had found a Stephen King book. I wish I remembered what it was, but I remember, his books are fairly thick. And I picked one because I'm like, well, this is a really long book, so this will take me a while regardless if I like it or not. And then I got the Stephen King bug.
Yeah, we have a whole collection upstairs.
Most of the books are his. The books that I
shelves.
brought in are his.
Yeah, 2 full shelves of Stephen King books.
Mm-hmm. We had a couple duplicates, but for the most part, we have 2 full shelves of books of Stephen King between the 2 of us.
Well, we got rid of most of the duplicates.
We did get rid of most of the duplicates.
Yeah,
we just kept whichever one was in better shape. That was adorable, Bubs.
Thank you, buddy. That was Bubs rubbing up on the microphone. I think we're probably going to get another one here.
He's sitting on...
He's all up on my lap,
yeah,
which never works. I don't have enough lap for this much cat.
Well, and you're crossing your legs, too, which make it harder for him to...
Step on my junk? Yes, it does.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. See, I don't think like that because I don't have junk.
I don't need 15 pounds of cat on a testicle. I've been there. All right.
Are we done?
I think we're done. You got stuff to do.
Oh, crap. Yeah, I got to get ready and go.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to the Super Bowl.
Not that Super Bowl.
No, I'm going to a much cooler Super Bowl.
Yes, it's a local thing.
Our local arts center has a fundraiser where they have people make bowls, clay bowls. So you pay $20, you get a bowl, and then you get a container of soup of your choice.
A handmade bowl.
Oh, yeah, I said they make bowls. Like it's a handmade...
Like a handmade bowl.
A handmade decorated bowl by somebody here in town that's part of the Mud Ladies, they call themselves, and they actually like make... It's really, really cool. So I want to go, and I want to go a little early and get in line.
He got his tooth stuck.
He got his tooth stuck when he rubbed against it.
Yeah, that's her plan.
I want to get there a little bit early. It starts at noon. I'd like to get there a little bit early. So there's usually a line to get in. It's only 2 hours and you want to get in there first so you can pick out the best bowl.
Absolutely.
Which is so funny though, because they're all so different that, the best bowl for me might not be the best bowl for somebody else.
Still, you want to get the best choice.
Yeah. You want to get the most, you want to get the most choices.
This is not working, buddy. What are you doing?
Don't worry, everybody. I have pictures of this. It's really cute.
Such a goofball.
All right. I really do need to go. It has been a wonderful conversation going from doing Reddit to one question and then we just branched off. I love that we can do this.
Yeah, this is
why we decided to do the podcast.
This was the movies and books episode.
Movies, books, and bad kitties.
Such a bad kitties. We had Finnigan's drum solo halfway through. There's a lot happened on this one.
A lot happened on this one.
All right, thanks everybody for stopping by, checking it out, hanging out with us.
If you do read and you want to leave a comment somewhere or email one of us, give us some recommendations. One of us will try and read it.
But if you do read and you just want to yell at us for not liking Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings,
go away.
Yeah, don't.
Because you're not going to convince us.
You're not going to sway us.
You're not going to sway us.
Hey, if you like it,
you can like it.
Like it all you want.
But don't try to make me like it because we're not gonna.
We're not going to judge you if you like it. People can like what they like.
People judge you if you don't like that stuff, though. It's so weird.
It's just not our thing.
It's not our thing. On that note, don't judge us. We don't judge you. Tell me what books you suggest. I'll read pretty much anything. And if I won't, I'll make him read it if it's science fiction, because that's like one genre I don't usually read.
Tell her about it. See you next time.
Bye.